dad died, and he was someone very close. He was actually the very first person I ever met when I moved up to Bedford, and the skills that I learned during that course helped me in a way deal with it. Whereas before I would just recluse away, it would get really emotional. I would instantly find the attachments of linking it to me losing my mum, and understanding the growth that I'd made through learning what I'd learned. I then made the self-conscious decision. I was like, you know what? Enough's enough. I want to regain my life. I want to live a life. I want to actually do something. I want to grab it by the horns, basically. So
and I think there's also you've got the physical demands on top of all your mental, and it's obviously it's renowned that us men generally won't talk. We don't feel that we could admit that we have an issue. We always want to be that strong person. We always want the person that takes care. We always want to be the person that, you know, is about everyone else rather than actually admitting where we have problems.
And that's a generational thing, don't you think? It's something
so.
from us with our generation, and that it was always ingrained to us. Men have to be men.
Yeah.
They don't talk about their feelings. You cry. You're called a cis. You're called a wussy. Yeah. Grow up. Get a pair of balls. Stop acting manly. Stop being a woman. And that's wrong. At the end of the day, we're just as emotional as women are, and we should be entitled to express those emotions and feel comfortable enough to talk about them.
But it's also good with friendships like ours, because
this is true.
How brutal. What question am I going to ask?
This guy, I tell you, he has been absolutely savage to me at times, but I've needed it. Do you understand? I've needed the savageness from him and the bluntness. I can't stress enough. Sometimes you do need that bluntness, not sugar coated and everything said through rose tinted glass and stuff. No, be blunt, be straight to the point. And I needed it this morning. I was nervous this morning going to this appointment, and I said to him, mate, I need you to be blunt with me. I need that. And he delivered, and he got me through it. He got rid of the nerves instantly. Had me laughing, had me feeling comfortable. And
the funny thing is that I sit there having a go at you, and yet I struggle so much with myself. Teddy wants to go swimming, I don't. Why? Because I'm fat. But Teddy's bigger than me. You'd think that with that situation it would be quite easy to say, yeah, come on in, because I could rely on the fact that, but that's not how it is. Some of these things that we go through and some of the things we deal with are kind of deep rooted. And going back to what you said before about not caring what people say, most of the time I don't care what people think. You really don't. Like, and you know, I've fallen foul to reacting sometimes. You know, I can remember someone in a pub once where they called me fat this, fat that, and it kept going, and all he kept doing was going on about me being fat. And I thought to myself, and I said to him, for God's sakes, man, do you not think I own a mirror? I know what size I am. Like, it's, you know,
and the cliche insults that you've heard hundreds of times before. You're like,
it's like, come on. And I just remember saying to him, listen, mate, because he weren't exactly slim, and I remember saying, if I threw a burger across the floor, you'd go and jump and get it. So don't be having a go at me about being fat. But, you know, and straight away, though, I felt bad. Because this is not the stuff I like to hear. And I generally... And from that day onwards, I told myself, I'm not going to do that again. Even though I don't do it.
Do you know,
I did it.
I get that, but it is hard. Like, everyone has their breaking point.
Yeah.
You keep poking at something, after a while, do you know what I mean? It's like, you got the stick and you're poking at the line. After a while, you keep poking at that line's going to turn around and he's going to have your ass. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
That is true. That is true. So we've got some good news with Sexy Teddy, but we're going to come to that a little bit later. First of all, what we did today has been, there's been a number of appointments we've had to go. And initially, and it's quite, actually, this is quite a good one to share, because when we first took Teddy, it was how are we going to get him there? Because he's so big. And the amount of times I took him in a small car, and the pain he would be in, just trying to get... And I've got a bigger car now anyway, because I aspire to have a boat one day. Why I've bought the car that will pull a boat now for, I don't know. But that's pretty much where it came from. So I've got this lovely car. It's a Nissan X-Trail. It's quite a big spacious car, and he fits in there all right. But actually, as he's gone on this, process, this journey, he's lost. And I'm not going to go over the weight loss, other than to say that obviously he's lost weight, and it's become easier and easier. And I've just noticed that. And for me, I've noticed the times I would have. I mean, you won't mind me sharing this because I'm a little bit like this. I remember coming in once and we was talking about his weight, and I was getting worried about losing my friend. And I've lost friends over the years for different reasons, and some have been really tough on me. And I just remember saying to him, I don't want to lose you. We've got to sort out your weight. I mean, mine's bad enough as it is. We've got to sort you out. And I had a bit of a conversation with him. He said, well, my eating's not that bad. And there he sat, just ordered a fried burrito. And I kind of was one of the bluntest days of my life. I said, are you kidding me? See how I bleep my own swear word there. Because that probably what I did at the time and all. And I just kind of shocked him in the fact of, you can't be saying that to me when you're just about to stick a fried burrito in your mouth. Like, yes, you have got the problem. And yes, a problem has developed from being overweight, and now it's a health condition. But let's not make the situation worse by keep eating those things. But one of the things is to stress how hard it is to change that routine. And today was about an echo scan on his heart, and that was to make sure that he doesn't die on the table. The risk of dying on the table, essentially.
Yeah.
What it is making sure that he ain't going to die. And we were let down a little bit, because the appointment got shifted, and we thought we were at the last one before, and it's only going to be next week, and then next week got cancelled. And how many months ago was that?
Back in March, end of March, this was all supposed to happen. And
I can't tell you. This video is really about him rather than me. Obviously, I like to steal some of the limelight just because that's me. But really, this is about him because he's absolutely been phenomenal. This guy's been on milk diets. I mean, we're talking about just milk. I love milk. But to that level and not be able to have anything else. And how many weeks were you on that for?
Right, so how it went about, I started back in December on this journey, and initially for 9 weeks I was on what they call the liquid diet, which basically consisted of, I had 6 pints of milk per day, and I would have 2 salty beverages as well. That could either be a Bovril, or I was allowed to have an Oxo Cube crushed up with hot water. So basically like a stock drink. You can have 2 of them a day. And then I was allowed up to 3 pre-made pots of sugar-free jelly, or if I made it myself, I could have as much as I want, because obviously it's just water and the gelatine powder and stuff. But for convenience, I got the pre-made pots, and it was also easy to just measure out. I knew at certain points during the day I would have a pot. And then on top of that, I could have as much drink in the sense of sugar-free drinks, water, a minimum of 2 pints of water per day. And I just stuck to flavoured water, sugar-free flavoured water. For the most part, I stopped all the majority of fizzy drinks, and it's very rarely now that I can actually even drink fizzy drinks. There are certain ones I can have, like I've got Fanta Zero next to me at the moment, but even that, I can't have too much of it. I can't drink Coca-Cola at all. Now, I can just about manage Coke Zero. I can't even do Diet Coke. I went out for a friend's birthday literally about a month after I started this, and I felt sick. I had 1 Diet Coke, went out, and I felt sick. Couldn't handle it. It's horrible.
But you trumpeted though a lot, didn't you?
Do you know what? Actually, not as much as I thought as I thought I was going to be. But yeah, sorry, I digressed away from the point. But yeah, so for 9 weeks I was on that diet with the milk, and then after the